What is going on, everyone? Leon checking in, and we're at it again with another episode. Now, today's content is an increased focus on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus, which brings us to the i-Blason Armorbox kit. Now, the good news is this kit is also available for the standard Samsung Galaxy S23 as well. Now, if you are unfamiliar with i-Blason, they are a sister brand of Supcase. Now, the i-Blason Armorbox kit is worth looking at because it features a tactical appearance, which I'm a fan of, and it also comes with several items that are packed with functionality at a really good price point. Now, in order to find the portion of the video that you're most interested in, I have included a watermark that describes that portion of the video. So as you could tell at this moment in this clip, the watermark states intro. Now, moving on, obviously we're going to be unboxing, demoing, reviewing, and rating the i-Blason Armorbox kit, but I'm also going to demo it in some of my favorite controllers, since whenever I buy a case, I have issues with cases fitting into several controllers. As always, clarity and authenticity are very important to the channel, which is why it's important for me to mention that i-Blason or Supcase did send out all these contents, including this hoodie that you see here. And this is really nice to know because it's very hard being a content creator. I spend a lot of time on these videos and I do have a very limited budget. So that being said, it's just nice to see that these brands are supporting content creators like myself that don't have it made. Now, if you are watching on YouTube and are looking for more content related to this topic, you can find it on the Samsung Galaxy playlist. And as always, you can find items mentioned and shown in this content at the Amazon storefront link in the description below. All things said, let's go ahead and get into it. So here we are with the unbox of the i-Blason Armorbox for the S23 Plus. The unboxing is simple here. We have a tab that pulls out. The lid flips open and then the contents slide out, and they are protected by plastic and foam. Items are going to include product information, our first faceplate with built-in screen protector, our second faceplate without the built-in screen protector installed into the rugged bumper case, and then a belt clip holster that this whole assembly is installed into. Now, this is a rather basic unboxing, so it gets a score of 7 of 10. Nothing exciting going on here, but it gets the job done. So here we have the bumper case. Color options are going to include the black you see here, along with golden and ruddy. Now, there is a tilt option, which I don't have available to show here in the video, but it looks like it's a blue option. Now, to give a better breakdown of the colors that I do have to show, black is self-explanatory. It's just black. Then we have the green that looks like a military green color, and the red looks more of a ruby red. Now, returning to the black, that's going to be my favorite here because it looks stealthy and tactical. Now, taking a closer look, all of these colorways have black accents laid on top of them. Now, the first accents we're going to talk about are the 3 dashes towards the middle of the case. Now, again, we do have the black variant here, and it also features these 3 dashes, but this is going to be harder to see on this colorway. But there's a little bit more to these dashes here. They are also going to be just a little bit functional. They are going to serve as risers for the back of these cases so that if you place these cases on a flat surface, the colorway that you have will be somewhat protected. And then we have other black accents which can be found around the camera module as well as in the form of faux Torx head screws. Also, take a good look at that subtle i-Blason branding. And then we also have some faux carbon fiber strips that wrap around the bottom as well as the top of the unit, and this gives the case performance vibes. Now, the i-Blason Armorbox features more built-in functionality. So here we have a kickstand and a tab that allows us to pull the kickstand out by pulling up on it. This works a lot like a tab on a soda pop can. Now, if we pull this kickstand further, it will eventually lock into place with a click. This provides 2 different viewing angles, a landscape and portrait option to switch between, which we will demonstrate later in the video. Now, when it comes to folding down this stand, we can just unlock it. It requires a little bit of effort. It eventually starts to fold flat and then it locks into place with a click as well. Now, all of these elements added up give the i-Blason Armorbox a technical appearance. Now, when it comes to overall feel of the colorways on the back of these cases, it's going to be overall smooth. There is really no texture here, and what this means is we are going to have a limited amount of grip. But as previously mentioned, this kit does ship with a holster, and the back of this holster is going to have grooves that will help remedy the issue of that lack of grip for the phone case itself. Now, if you were worried about a lack of grip for the Armorbox, the good news is we do have this hard rubber compound on the side with these lines, and that is going to provide texture, and it's going to provide enough friction that I can say this will help give you a good grip on your device. As for overall material composition of the bumper case, it's made of TPU or thermoplastic polyurethane, which is a very familiar material in this product category. Overall design and functionality is a 9 of 10 here based on all points mentioned. So let's talk install of the i-Blason Armorbox. First, I do want to mention that I am using a dummy model of the S23 Plus, which means that it looks like the real thing, but it doesn't turn on. Returning to the install, our first step is to separate the rugged bumper case from the pre-installed faceplate. Now, if we take a look towards the bottom of the faceplate, we're going to have a label that indicates where we should start the separation, and this is going to happen at the bottom right hand corner, and there is going to be a slit here which allows us to place our fingernail to peel back this rugged bumper portion from the faceplate. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this in the video because I will say this is the most challenging part of installing and removing the case from your device. It does require quite a bit of twisting and pulling and prying, but once separated, we're going to have the rugged bumper case and the pre-installed faceplate split. Once these pieces are separated, we can place our S23 into the faceplate. Now, again, we have a faceplate with a screen protector, and then that faceplate that was pre-installed into the rugged case that doesn't have a screen protector. Now, in order to simplify installation for this video, we're going to be using the faceplate without the screen protector. So I'm going to move that into frame, and then we're going to drop our S23 Plus into there. It's going to snap somewhat securely into place, but it is going to be a snug fit. Next, we could take our faceplate and phone assembly and install it into the rugged case. Now, this should just drop into place nice and smooth. It ideally should be easier than when we originally separated the rugged case from the faceplate. So this actually drops into place nice and easy, and then you just want to do a visual inspection. Make sure that the rugged case is seated on the faceplate nice and smoothly. Once installed, iBlason claims the case meets the military 810G 515.6 drop test standard. Now, you can't necessarily go by these printed badges seen across many case manufacturers' packaging, since the test can be performed in favor of the case brand in a variety of ways. What I also like about the case are these rubber bumpers on the outside edges, and that should aid in shock absorption as well. Overall installation score is a 9 of 10. Dividing the portions is a bit of a challenge, but everything fits together very snug, which is a huge plus here. Now let's talk performance of the i-Blason Armorbox. Now, buttons are going to be easy to fill out and feature good travel as well as click feedback. Towards the bottom of the Armorbox, we're going to have a thick flap that is going to cover up the USB-C port, and it does feature some resistance when opening it. It does tend to go back into the closed position. That is a con, so you're going to be fighting it as you plug a cable in, but it does push securely into place. And then we have the lock and kickstand, which features a tab right in the center, which allows us to pull the kickstand up and out. It's comparable to pulling a tab on a soda can. Now, if we push the kickstand further, it's going to lock securely in place with a click. This setup gives us two viewing orientations. First, a landscape, and then a portrait. Once we are done with the kickstand, we can collapse it. Now, this does require a little bit of effort, but it slides down smoothly and then it presses flat into place securely with a click as well. Now, when it comes to performance and functionality, rating here will be a 9 of 10. It's easy to find the buttons, we have good travel and click feedback, and that lock and kickstand provides 2 view-in modes. Now let's talk about controllers for the i-Blason Armorbox. Whenever I look for a case, I like to make sure that it actually is going to fit into a controller. So here we have some units. We have the Moga XP7X, we have the Rig MGX Pro, and the GameSir X2. So the first controller we're going to talk about is the Moga XP7X. Now this is a favorite of mine because it features a built-in battery, and that allows you to not only power the controller, but it also has a wireless charger built into it, so you can wirelessly charge your smartphone. But there are 2 cons here. First, we're going to have a micro USB port for charging, and then the bottom triggers, the springs are going to be stiffer than the Rig MGX Pro we're going to talk about in a moment. But what all these controllers have in common is that they do extend out to fit your device. So we're going to set this down, and then we are going to grab the iBlason Armorbox with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus installed and try to do an installation. Now the problem that we're running into with this controller is it doesn't extend out far enough to insert this kit. And I'm just going to put the phone down right above the controller just to demonstrate this a little bit more. So you can see that we don't have a far enough extension. So unfortunately, this controller won't work with the iBlason Armorbox. Next, we have the Rig MGX Pro. Now, before we do a demonstration of installing the kit into it, I do want to demonstrate here that the Rig MGX Pro will require a bit more storage than the Moga XP7X because with the arms not extended, it is a wider controller. But the benefit will be that we have softer triggers here. And as for charging, it is going to be USB-C. So that's a plus there. So let's slide the Moga XP7X out of the way and then drop the Rig MGX Pro into position. And then we are going to try to install this kit once again. Now the good news is that this does extend far enough, the Rig MGX Pro. But the con here is that it's not going to hold our device securely. This is not going to give us confidence. So unfortunately, I won't be able to recommend the Rig MGX Pro for this kit as well. And then we have the GameSir X2, and this is the most portable option. Now, off the bat, you're going to see that this has Nintendo vibes to it. It reminds me of the Switch. But as for features, we are going to have a USB-C port here. That is a plus. We also have these nice colors on the analog sticks. We have red on the left, blue on the right. Again, Nintendo vibes. Now there is one con here. The triggers are just buttons. They are not spring-loaded. So if you're looking for spring-loaded triggers, you're going to want to look elsewhere. But when it comes to the test, we are going to place the GameSir X2 into position. And then once again, grab the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus with iBlason Armorbox, and this fits in here nicely. This is very secure. I don't feel like it's going to fall out easily. This is a more basic controller, but this will be great for gaming, and it also looks really good with the iBlason Armorbox. Finally, we have the belt clip holster for the Armorbox, and it's going to feature grooves on the backside on both the left and right, or top and bottom, depending on how you have this holster oriented. And this is important because it's going to add improved grip. Now, as we previously mentioned, these colorways don't have any texture, and that's where the holster will be helpful. Now, as you may have noticed, I did mention in the previous clip, depending on how you have this holster oriented, and that's because you can rotate the clip, which provides you different positions on your pants or on your belt. And there is going to be very good resistance here. So this belt clip holster isn't just going to rotate out of place easily, and it also locks securely in place. Now, as for the opening and closing of the clip itself, it features a very stiff spring, which is going to ensure confidence that it's not going to just fall off of your pants or come unclipped from your belt. And then we have the opening of the clip, and that's going to be large enough to accommodate belts like the Grip 6 work belt I have here. And we're going to do a quick test. So I have my belt unraveled, and we're just going to feed it through the clip. Now, as you can tell, the clip is currently closed, and we can still feed the belt through with no issues. And then we have installation of the Armorbox into the holster. And there are two ways you can do this. Now, the way you may think of most commonly will be with the case face up. But interesting enough, i-Blason Armorbox does indicate that installing the case face up into the holster may damage the holster. Now, I'm not sure how this would be, as I did try installing this and removing this way several times and have had no issues. But it is something to be cautious about since it is reported in the directions. Now, the other way we could install our case into the holster is obviously with our face down. And this will be good as well because it's going to protect the display of our Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus. Now, one feature I would have liked to see on the belt clip holster that is missing is the clip being able to lock out. I've seen this on other holsters, and it would be similar to how the kickstand locks out on these cases. This would be helpful if you do have your case installed into the holster with the display facing outward, because you would get two viewing angles, a portrait and a landscape, just like how you get with the case's kickstand. Considering all these points, the holster receives a score of 8 of 10. So that is it for today's content. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, please leave a like. If you're watching on YouTube and have any questions or comments, as always, drop those down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Now, there are 3 ways you can support the channel. The first way is to click on the Amazon storefront link in the description below. There you'll find items that I have bought or would buy, and anything you buy from the storefront does support the content. The next way you can show your support is just by sharing this content with someone who might enjoy it or find it useful. And the last way you can show your support is just by clicking the subscribe button. Now, liking and subscribing are important because those are your ways to vote on whether you like the content. Liking and subscribing are also important for new viewers and listeners. If new viewers and listeners see likes and subscribers, they're going to think that the content is helpful, worth watching, and listening to. And as always, thanks for watching, and may the universe flow in your favor. And until next time, Leon checking out.
Yeah.